Hey guys, Coach Hutchinson here with the one clip, one drill. We are going to change it up a little bit. We're going with the MLL championship game from 2019 that featured the Chesapeake Bayhawks and the Denver Outlaws. In a game that started off with the Bayhawks coming out of the gates pretty hot, ended up going up 6-2, I believe, 7-2, 8-2 maybe. And then the Outlaws really stormed back, going up 9-8, and then the Bayhawks scored the final two goals. So pretty good game if you guys can get your hands on it. It's a great game to watch. We're going to watch a pretty quick possession from it, and then we're going to dive into a whiteboard drill, and then I'll show you guys some film of the drill from one of our practices this year. So with that being said, I'm going to go right to the screen share. All right, so what we're going to look at here, all right, is second quarter here. All right, we're going to kind of talk about the offensive possession. I think there's a lot of good stuff to kind of unpack here, and then we're going to talk about just a little small fundamental thing that I believe would have turned this possession from a really great shot into a goal. Okay, and one of the things that's going to be really interesting is how this possession starts out. And we got Courier here, who's one of the better middies in the world right now. All right, he does a really good job of dragging his defender low right now. All right. And what's also happened at the same time is Kavanaugh is actually working his way to come set a pick for Courier to get to the middle of the field. Okay. And you got two little lefties. It's a two-man game happening right now. All right. But what's also happening right now is this defender, all right, is syncing with the Dodger, and same with this defender. Okay. And because of that, when Courier decides to change his angle and attack towards the middle of the field, we're going to see why the defense is going to pay here in a second. So when this pick comes, all right, now this defender's got a really tough, line of pursuit to really stay with Courier. Okay, and if he decides to go under the pick right now, all right, and come this way, all right, we're going to have a brief second where one of the best middies in the world is able to have his hands free to pick a defense apart. Okay, and at that point, he can tell where the slide guy is coming from, where the support is coming from, who are we hedging from defensively, whatever it may be. Okay, so that little kind of slickness right there by number 25 and number 5 is a really, really crafty way to set up your offense if you kind of if your offense revolves around some two-man game. All right. Now, in this situation, okay, when this is happening, now we're able to get towards the middle of the field here. All right. And we have this interception here, all right, with this contact. So now Courier is able to get to the middle of the field. All right. One thing that we want to focus on as the pick man is we want to get to space away from this matchup. All right. That way, we really force the defenseman to make a decision. Are they switching? Are they getting through? Are they trying to jump this pick? All right, whatever it might be. If we get away, now we can kind of make that decision very clear and obvious to the ball carrier. Okay. At this point, we let this play. All right, we can see that we're able to kind of get to where we want to get to with our hands free. Okay. Now, as a feeder, all right, Courier can read. All right, is this guy going? All right, because if he comes to support the ball, we're going to have this slip off the pick, and that throwback's going to be wide open. All right, and we can see all this space on this side. It really would just be Kavanaugh and a referee on this side. All right, now as we get rid of these illustrations, all right, walk you through another one where, let's say, Costabile were to support. All right. And that would open up a skip pass, all right, right through this lane, right here to number 45, right-handed scorer in a pretty optimal position for him. All right. The reason why some of this stuff is happening right now, all right, and not to bring some negative attention to the two low defensemen. All right, what's happening right now is John Grant Jr., one of the best off-ball lefty attackman, best off-ball attack or best attackman in the world in general. He's actually doing a really good job of baiting his guy into coming this way, all right, which is going to force number 10 to move this way. All right. When that happens, all right, and we have this defender sliding, all right, from an offensive perspective, it makes it very difficult for the defenders to kind of get to this area of the field. We've kind of isolated that side of the field, all right, with an open matchup. Okay, so as we let this play out here, all right, we can see, all right, defender moving his way this way, this defender moving this way, defender moving this way. Okay, and now we're going to talk about the coaching point that we're going to emphasize with the drill. All right, if we get away, all right, from this pick, all right, we get to space, and then we come back to meet the ball. All right, we're going to do two things to the defense. One, we're going to manipulate the approach. Okay, so this guy might be approaching out to where he thinks we're going to be or where we were. All right, but when we decide that we're going to come meet the ball in the air, all right, we're going to be in a more athletic position so that we can handle a bad pass. We're also going to be able to catch the ball to feed, catch the ball to shoot, or catch the ball to dodge. All right, and having those options are going to be very, very important. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to shift our focus towards a little bit is understanding that some of these defenders and some of these offensive guys are some of the best players in the world. All right, they're in the MLL for a reason. Very, very talented players. Okay. Now, some of these guys shooting 10-yard shots is easy money for these guys. All right, they scored at pretty consistent rate. Okay, so on this throwback, and again, Kavanaugh, he's shown in the past that he can hit this shot time and time again. All right, so that the defense has to respect this. All right, on this rotation. Now, one thing that's a great skill for young players to develop is exactly what we're seeing right here with John Grant Jr. All right, we can see he's got his stick up. All right, he wants the ball. He might be demanding the ball from his teammate with communication. All right, but he's in a position where if he gets the ball thrown to him, he can easily turn the corner and score. Okay. Now, as an offense, we're deciding between a 10-yard shot with our hands free, all right, or an additional pass, all right, which is going to allow the defense potentially an extra second to recover through this kind of scramble situation. All right. So again, it's not a terrible. It's a good decision to shoot. All right, but it could be a great decision to move this ball one more. All right, so we're not going to get into the negatives here, all right, just because I think that in the heat of the moment, this is probably a really good shot, and it's a shot that he probably scores a lot. So we're not going to fault him for that, okay? So we see this play out. The other thing that we need to realize, all right, in this game, all right, Brian Phipps, member of the Team USA World Team, Dylan Ward, member of the Team Canada World Team, so two very, very, highly regarded goalies, they're going to make some saves. All right, so we can't be upset. All right, we get our hands free. We want to make sure that we're putting the ball on cage right now in a good spot. We want the goalie to have to make a save. Okay, that's exactly what Brian Phipps does here. We can't be upset that we didn't score in this situation. We had good offense. All right, we could have scored. We didn't. That's okay. All right. Now what we're going to do, all right, we're going to kind of turn around here. All right, we're going to go through a drill that's called follow the leader. All right. How the drill, a couple coaching points here, all right, is communication. All right. So use the terminology that you guys use with your program. So whether you guys use one more, here's your help right here, whatever you guys use, this is a great drill to kind of practice that communication. All right. Your footwork. All right. So there's going to be some stick work involved in the drill, but also a heavy dose of shooting. All right. So your footwork on how you catch and receive the ball, as well as how you get rid of the ball on your shot, is all going to be very, very important. Okay. All right, moving towards your teammate. All right, and that's one thing that we talked about it with Kavanaugh a little bit there. If we came back to meet the ball, we're going to increase our angle. All right, so we have a better angle to score, and it's going to allow us that if there's a bad pass, we have the time and we're moving towards it that we can react to that bad pass. Okay, and also give a target. We want to show our teammate exactly where we want the ball. All right, we want to trust that our teammate's going to put it in the right spot. But that's what's going to allow us to have a quicker release. It's going to allow us to have a quicker split dodge. And it's going to enable us to play some pretty good offense at times just by having really, really good stick work. So how the drill is going to work. All right, so line one's going to have a ball. All right, there'll actually be a bunch of balls here. All right, and line two is going to have balls. All right, and there's probably going to be about 4 or 5 guys at each line. And it's going to be a pretty rapid fire, high rep, high octane shooting drill right now. All right. Only guy that's not going to start with the ball is the first guy in line 2 and guys in line 3. All right. So first guy in line 2 is going to step around this cone as number 1 steps away, all right, to make this feed. All right. So as we come to meet this, we want to catch. We want to make sure that we're stepping towards the cage. All right. And that way our momentum is going towards the goal. All right. The second guy, all right, that's in line 2. All right. He's going to step around this cone, all right, to feed number 3 curling around right here. All right. So this is our second pass. Okay. After number 2 makes that pass, the second guy in line 1 is going to start stepping away, and we're going to feed number 2 curling around that cone for a shot. Okay. So when we curl around these cones, we want to make sure that we're curling around back towards the middle of the field. So we're coming back to receive the ball from where the ball came from. All right. I got some practice footage of the drill. We're going to go through right now. All right. What we're going to focus on here, all right, is we're going to see this is line 1, this is line 2, and this is line 3. All right. So the rotation for this, all right, after number 2 steps over, he rotates down. So after 2 gets his shot, he rotates down to number 1. After number 3 catches on his curl, all right, he will fill back up to number 2. All right. And number 1's going to go all the way around behind the cage, or not behind the cage, behind the group, so that we avoid going behind the goal and getting hit by a shot potentially. All right. So what we're going to see here is going to be a pretty rapid fire drill. All right. We're going to step away to feed. All right, we're going to catch, step towards the cage, get our hands back away from our bodies. All right, it's really, really kind of high rep. All right, we want everything to kind of start with our feet being set, catch, foot going back towards the cage. So this is a great rep here. All right, we can see our foot going towards the goal here. We're getting our hips around, and our momentum's taking us towards the cage right now. All right, so you can see 2 guys are getting shots, 2 guys are feeding. So it's a hidden conditioning. It's part of a stick work drill, and it's got part shooting. All right, so that is follow the leader, all right, shooting and stick work drill. Okay, so I appreciate you guys taking time to watch this. If there's any questions that you guys have, please feel free to reach out, and look forward to joining you guys again on the One Click One Drill series.